Jamie, it's so wonderful to have you here with us today. You've built an incredible empire is not the right word, but it may as well be building 21 schools in Cambodia for caring for Cambodia. It's incredible. Can you take me back right to the very beginning? What was the spark that led you to taking action on this
The
path?
spark. I love that. I haven't heard that. And I think it truly was a spark that ignited something extraordinary. And I was just an expat. And I say that because I was here with a very long list of things to do, like most expat women have lots of things that they want to do. And Cambodia happened to be on my list. I was going there on vacation. I wanted to be wowed by the temples of Angkor Wat. I was excited about the food. I was with my friend. Uh, and then came a moment that I was on the backside of Angkor Wat, and a little girl came up to me and tugged at my shirt and asked me for $1. So the moment changed. It was no longer about the temples or the food or the vacation. I asked this little girl what she wanted the dollar for, and she said she wanted it to go to school. So at that time, I could not believe that a little girl was, number one, at the temple asking for money. Why wasn't she in school? And I said, if you show me your school, I will give you the $1. So that afternoon, I went to her school. And I would say that was the moment that I was so bothered. Everything changed. And I came back to Singapore and this beautiful life with my kids that had everything and my friends that were having a great time. It had all shifted then.
Wow. So that was the sort of beginning of your individual path and journey, and it's lasted how many years
It's
now
23
since
years,
then?
which makes me feel old. But then I think about the moments of when I lived here, and so much fun, and the memories come rushing back of what a beautiful time it was, and how all the friends I made helped build this journey. It was never about me. I feel very grateful to have been in that moment and be bothered enough to actually make a move. But it was always about the friends that rallied behind me. So I was
Absolutely.
so excited to talk to you
Oh,
because this is so much about powerful expat women. That's where we started. That it was the women that had a desire to do something more.
that collective force.
Yes,
Absolutely, together we
yes,
can do so,
yes,
so much.
yes.
And caring for Cambodia is a collective effort. There are so many organizations, schools as well as individuals who support you and your
Yes.
work. Um, how do you make sure that it's not just you driving it? This is a huge task, and it gets bigger and bigger. How do you build something that is long lasting and has really strong foundations, and you're sure can continue to live and breathe beyond your solo efforts?
Well, first of all, there's no way you can do something like this on your own.
Right.
And I definitely surrounded myself with people that knew what they were doing. I surrounded myself with educators, with attorneys, with accountants, with people that could really help build something that was sustainable. And because we worked directly with the government, there are rules that needed to be followed.
Yes.
And we didn't want to do anything where we just put it all together, brought a bunch of things, and then walked away.
Right.
It's super important to make sure it was sustainable. And what we did well. So it's not my organization. It never has been. It's anyone's that cares about a children's education. And I think everyone who's been to Cambodia understands the value of education. So it then becomes their story. It's not my
Yes.
story anymore. You talk to your friends and any of my friends, anyone who's been there that's held the hand of a young child or helped train a teacher, it becomes what they want to do and make work.
You mentioned working with the government in
Mm.
Cambodia, and obviously it's a foreign country outside of Singapore. It's there's a number of logistics I can't even imagine where you start with all of that. What are some of the challenges that you faced, and what's kept you driving through those challenges?
Well, what keeps driving me is the children. Hands down, it's seeing that the kids are healthier and happier today than they have ever been. And the fact that Cambodia had gone through the genocide. I didn't know enough about that. And I really dove into the history of Cambodia and the Khmer Rouge. And the challenges have been no different from any other organization, having to deal with different cultures, different ideas. So it was important to learn early on, it's not about our ways. What we wanted to do is come in and figure out what Cambodia wanted to do, what they needed for their children, and then build on that. Hence the international teacher training. We come in and train with their curriculum. And of course, there are moments where I thought about giving up. Is it too much? Can I do it? I don't like to say that often, but I think it's the truth of what we do in life. We have moments of, can we keep on?
Self-doubt and other commitments
Yes,
take over,
yes. I had 6
prioritizing.
kids. I was a busy
Wow.
wife, a good friend to many. How do we do it all?
Yes.
But somehow I would say the good Lord has pushed me into being able to manage and doing it all with the help of others, always with the help of others. And you have to ask.
It's obviously a huge passion for you, and it's very rewarding. I mean, it's a simple thing, whether it's a small act, a donation, or a larger act of service of your time and effort or expertise. So as you say, it takes a village, it takes a whole team.
It does.
Everybody's good at something, right?
Absolutely.
So if there are people watching who are thinking about, how can they look outside themselves, help other people, what's your sort of starting point? What would you say, some advice for them?
I remain in awe at volunteers and how much they give. But if people want to be involved with Caring for Cambodia, of course, you can go to our website. We always need support. We need those professionals to do something. We would love for people just to talk about us, raise awareness. Cambodia is a hard sell. It's always difficult. We're not the National Cancer Society that has people that connect on so many different levels. But what's most important, I think, is that we understand that as a small country, Cambodia, if we build them up, it builds the world up. And if you can give of yourself for a minute, just to know that it matters, it really does. And we have opportunities for anything, from if you want to help us with our social media, if you want to help us with libraries, the health and dental program, get all your toothbrushes, have a toothbrush drive, involve your children. I mean, bringing my children and dropping them in the dirt was still one of the best experiences they've ever had. No phones allowed,
Right.
only dirt and sweat and building. And it was a life changer. And I think it's a life changer for a lot of adults too, when they understand the power of a little bit of service, a little bit of help.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you lived in Singapore when you started and embarked on this journey. How important is the Singaporean community to Caring for Cambodia?
It was the core of our success early on. I came back and gathered all my friends around my coffee table with a bottle of wine. That was key. I'm not going to lie. We did have to have good wine or not. It was great just being together and said, let's do something different. So when you think about the start of Caring for Cambodia, I think about these powerful women that were brilliant, but didn't have a job at the moment. Lucky me. Lucky us. To say, let's do something together and make this exceptional. And that's exactly what we did. And people did every position we had. They gave of their heart, their time, their energy and effort for nothing.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it is a real community here.
It is. It is. And I miss it so much. I mean, this is where my children grew up. My daughter was born. I have 2 adopted children from Cambodia. I miss it. I may have to move back. I've been saying that all week, but it is an incredible community. The expat life is like no other, just because you have to make friends that truly are your family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We know all about that at SCCW, and I'm sure Singapore would be very happy to have you back as well, Jamie. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
I appreciate you.
Lovely.
Thank you.